that should do it. Alright, I think we are live on YouTube. Just need to check my admin. Yes, good day. Everyone will be starting the stream in 5 minutes, so stay tuned. We'll also have a Discord stage up as soon as I figure that out. That is good. Good evening, everyone. You'll hear me coughing throughout this thing. Don't worry, it's a cold. It's not COVID. Been tested, so no worries there. Show requests. Huh. So Flame will just explain to me there is no screen share on a stage channel, which I think is weird. So what is the point of a stage channel then? In that case, maybe we may just want to switch to live audio. We'll experiment with this for a while. Everyone who is a purple role, let me just warn everyone, the Patreon Chronology. Everyone, oh, live in 5, all moderators, crew, and patron have free chatting on the stage channel. You can also allow others to speak in there. Starting stream in 5 minutes. I'm answering some questions on YouTube comments, by the way, if you prefer typing. Alex, people wondering about music, we are using the music mixdown from Royalist Radio, episodes 1 and 2 of our Kaiser Cat radio show. Alex is working on a new episode, but no ETA. We're also working on, of course, Kaiser Cat documentary Russia and various other smaller projects. Lord Jishi asks if there will be more World Equestria videos. I'm not ruling out future collaborations. We love the EW team, but they will always be more of a one-off. Lord Jishi asks, will there be more Equestria War videos? So as I'm answering him, I'm not ruling off future collaborations. We love the Equestria War team, but they will always be more of a one-off kind of videos rather than a regular part of the channel. Though I'd love to collaborate with various other moderators, mods in the community, so it's quite possible. Yes, some people talking about the delay. You should probably only listen to me on YouTube and mute Discord, and only use Discord when you are speaking, because otherwise the hearing me twice with 30 seconds between will be wild. Let me call all our patrons in. I'll let you know we are going live in 3 minutes. By the State Studio Livestream. Oh, wait. You're of course hearing Yellow Rose of Texas, as produced by us and sung by our wonderful voice actor Amy Seville, who also plays the voice of Emily in The Divided States, our upcoming animatic series. Some various Kaiser Cat lore questions, but good evening to everyone joining us from all various parts of the world. We will be painting on The Divided States, our upcoming animatic series. Let me start pulling up the files on my screen. I need my shot list. Where is my shot list? Here it is. Okay. Also working on some patron cameos, so I'll make sure to download those. This is Alucard. Okay. 1 minute still alive, if my clock is correct. Alucard, Sawyer, form, intro, patron, cameos. To grab all of these. They do need to be moved into Sawyer form, patron, cameos. Sawyer form, there's a large amount of logistics involved with getting all our cameos sorted for all particular scenes, which I will dive into right away. Fable is shooting me some messages. But anyway, it is time. Yes, where is my on button? Where is my OBS? I think it's this one. Boomer energy. Here we go. Yes. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all our Kaiser Cat fans everywhere. Welcome to Divided State Studio Livestream 08. I am Vincent. I am the founder of Kaiser Cat Cinema. We are a team and organization dedicated to a single purpose, which is the creation of free Kaiser Cat content on all platforms. We believe very strongly that Kaiser Cat is the strongest and most significant piece of alt history world building that has ever been. And we believe very strongly that we should show the world the potential that it has. We have done this in various ways. Of course, we have done this by making documentaries, World of Kaiser Cat videos, radio shows, audio drama, and now, of course, we are working on The Divided States, a full-length animatic series set within the world of Kaiser Cat. We are doing this on a shoestring budget, on a skeleton team, because we hate ourselves. I'll be answering questions about the show. Mostly we'll be doing this, right? We'll be working on painting frames and also seeing to get a few of our patrons painted in, because our patrons, as part of their patron package, they get cameo appearances in the show. So first off, this is scene 04 where we are starting with. You are now looking at a what we call a rough blockout. So this is a 3D model blockout of where all the characters are in a certain moment in the show. This is one of the opening stages of a Union State Armored Corps, Union State Ranger Corps with a half track being in like an unnamed farm somewhere south of St. Louis, and this is where we introduce Sawyer. First off, I need to bring my patron cameos in. Sawyer Farm, episode 1, scene 3. 3 patrons sorted in. This is for those interested in drawing. The software you're seeing on the right hand side of my screen is called PureRef, and it's probably the single best reference organizing system that we have. It's basically a simple program to sort a bunch of stuff out. These references will help me paint the various patrons that we will be working on today. It also saves a full resolution version of whatever you're working on, so it's really handy to have. I'll go look at chat in a minute. If someone on Discord wants to speak up, just let me know. We're gonna save this here. So form scene 03 patron cameos. All right, let's cycle through Discord real quick. This is the first time that we are testing a stage on Discord, which I think it's weird that I cannot share my screen. So it looks like a bunch of questions on YouTube first. Scotto asks, how do we participate in a giveaway? At Scotto, I will post a prize question later during the live stream. There we go. So Robert asks, who the Charles on the pictures? I assume you're meaning the portrait I have behind me. That is, it's in French you would refer to him as Charles, Roman Emperor, but he is the Emperor of Austria, of course, Austro-Hungary. Okay, so first, everything we need to do whenever we start a show is we need to start by looking at the shelf list, which is essentially a big Excel sheet which has all the various things that we need for this show. It's going to be a 30-minute episode split into about 2 15-minute increments. So we'll release the first part on December 26th, I think, or December 24th. We'll release the second part somewhere in January or February. And we probably will have to do a Indiegogo or Kickstarter after that, because we need to raise additional funds if we want to keep making projects of this scope and scale. Especially, you can see why, like the amount of illustration here. It's pretty crazy. The opening episode alone has 500 individual illustrations, which is more art than we've ever made. And we are going to scroll down all the way to Sawyer Farm, which is scene 3. Okay, so this is where we start. Sawyer Farm starts in a Louisiana farm, and we need to establish Sawyer. We need to establish some characters, so we'll be working on some of these scenes down here. I feel like one or two are missing. Yes, we'll need this frame. Sawyer Logan medium. I'm just gonna use a search app. Sawyer Logan. There we go. C5. Let's load this frame up and see what we have. Okay, we have Sawyer Logan medium. I'll need Drive to find my correct files here. Thanks for the donation, Jack. He's sending us best wishes from Germany. Very much appreciated. As you guys know, we have individual donations are now available through both super chats, and I think YouTube has a new feature which is called YouTube thanks or something. So this is another little piece of software from the Photoshop guys, which just allows you to see a whole bunch of frames. Because we have so many, it's quite a bit of work just to finding the regular correct Sawyer Farm. Okay, this is what we need. There's a bunch of shots here that we don't really use anymore, so there's older stuff. We did a really cool screening yesterday of the full episode, and then right now we're basically editing it down, trying to get a cleaner grasp on the full episode. Here we go. Sawyer Logan arguing. We'll move that into the production folder. This is scene 3. Sawyer Logan arguing. Alright. So the problem here is Logan is a little trickier than Sawyer is, because we don't have his features established just as well as good as we have the other one. So I'm gonna have to basically base it on one drawing that I've done of him, and I should spend some time working on his features. Should be up here. So Lauren F asks whether we will have voice actors or impersonators for speeches. Yes, definitely, of course. Yui Long is voiced by, I don't know the exact cast lists by heart, but I'll announce that later. We're currently doing castings on Casting Call Club. If you guys are voice actors, you're interested in joining the project, make sure you check that out first. Sawyer form F3. Yes, this is the only shot of Logan that we have right now, and it's the one we'll have to work on. Going to open a second reference document, which we will use for production. There we go. So we have Sawyer on one hand, we have Logan on the other, and then we have the patrons that we need to paint. There we go. Let me just organize that in a way that you guys can see what's going on. All right. First off, we do need to organize our layers because we need to prepare this for illustration. So if you look on the bottom left, bottom right, you will see me working on naming everything properly. Logan on one side, Sawyer on one, then we have half track. We're not going to work on the half track right now because in our latest script edits we noted that we do need to replace that half track with an M3. We're doing a push to rework, basically make the Union State look more American. I think in the initial drafts of this episode we ran into the issue where the Union State guys did not look American enough. So let's start with some patrons as well. Struggling for space real estate. Now the one advantage that we do have is that a lot of the base work has been done through I'm actually gonna boot up Lazy Nezumi Pro as well. We have a lot of our base work already laid out thanks to the work that we've done in 3D. So I've been doing a lot of Blender work setting all this stuff up. And I'll show you guys a bit of that later. Sawyer's hat should be darker, so let's move that up. Something like this. Burn out the excess. Make it dark and start adding some line work. Yes, this should do.
Hello, Vincent.
Good afternoon, day. Who's speaking? Because I'm not looking at Discord right now.
It's Marcus.
Hey, Marcus. Now I can see your voice. How are things in Berlin?
Things are progressing quite well. Pretty good. this film scene is picking back up. People are starting to go out and do films again.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on my end as well. Did you know that the voice actor we have for the Kaiser documentary?
Patrick?
Yes, Patrick. He's gonna be in an Amazon show. He plays a side character in Masters of the Air, which is a World War II show, based off of some air operation that I've distinctly forgotten the name of. But he's doing a bunch of TV work now. It's really cool.
Masters of the Air instantly draws to my attention that old Russell Crowe movie called Naval something.
Is that an old
Commanders?
Commander and Master of the Far Side of the World. Could that be?
Master and Commander, Far Side of the World.
Master and Commander, Far Side of the World. We actually recently saw another naval film, which was basically based on the story of Moby Dick, which I thought was pretty cool. What was that movie called? It's about the Essex. So the Essex is the ship that the book is based on. The ship that, like in official reports, ran aground, but then the folklore story there was that that it was destroyed by a large white whale, which is where the legend of Moby Dick was then based on.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And they never really knew what happened to the ship. They just knew that it went way, way, way too far out in the ocean for basically trying to find a large school of whales. And then it got completely destroyed for some reason. And the legend is also that, you know, foul play was involved in some way. Maybe the captain scuttled the ship, trying to collect an insurance money. There's a lot of like weird stuff that happened. And no two reports of that incident actually like match up, seem to work out. Should read up. It's a really interesting story.
Have you heard of the MV Awamaru?
No, I have not.
It's a Japanese ship that was sunk in 1942. And when we were doing Nights of Shanghai, we were talking about what kind of treasures were involved, right, in that story.
Oh, yeah.
The MVS Awamaru sunk with a lot of treasure.
A Japanese warship or like just a regular boat?
It was an ocean.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would have a bit more treasure necessarily.
Yeah. It had about 2,000 people on board. Only one person survived. Not very pretty war, but
when did this happen?
In 1942.
Oh, okay.
But
so it was a wartime sinking.
Yeah. The Americans blew her up.
Yeah.
So it had it had about $58 million worth of platinum and like 150,000 carats, diamonds. Apparently, it's estimated like 5 billion to 6 billion worth of dollars treasure that ship has.
It's pretty spectacular. But basically, it was smuggling those supplies to the mainland, so that's why like they took it out with subs. Is that the story?
Yeah, they took it out. But yeah, it's a very interesting story.
One of the things I learned recently is that the submarine service was the highest casualty rate service of all the U.S. branches of military during the World Wars.
It is submarines in general is like terrifying. I recently resaw the movie Das Boot.
Yeah,
it's a very good film.
The ending of Das Boot threw me off like ridiculously. There's like all the story, all these guys that you get to know, and then at the end they just all get laced down by a Mustang on the docks. It's such a like anticlimactic ending. I loved it. It really showed like what the war was back then.
Yeah.
Just the futility to that entire film was just a beautiful, beautiful ending there.
Good movie.
Yeah, I loved it. But I think in terms of war movies, the recent ones like Dunkirk was super good, and then 1917 or what's it called was also really good.
The soft spot in my heart for war films during World War II, or just in general, Tom Hanks's Band of Brothers that he produced.
Yeah.
And turns out Masters of the Air is being produced by the same company. For Patrick.
Yeah, no. He also he plays supporting roles in The Crown as well.
Yeah.
You should check out his
everywhere.
Yeah, check out his IMDb. He does a lot of cool stuff.
I saw his I forgot the word for it, but you select the compilation of all your jobs together.
Demo reel.
Yes, the reel.
Yeah, I'm really fortunate that we can work with, and I'd love to have him appear in the show as well. He's one of the actors that I have earmarked for the role of the governor. We'll also change the name of that character. Like, he was never intended to be called a governor, but just something that implies authority in a certain way. The boss, your guess is as good as mine.
Dictionary.com, synonyms for the boss.
Yeah, I would just run it past thesaurus and not worry too much about that.
I noticed something when I was playing just a few what's it called, Tom Clancy's Wildlands in general, is that all the bad guys have their names, like their titles, but in Spanish, like El Sueño.
Yeah.
We could consider something like that there, where the governor is Das Commandant.
Well, he's actually British, so it wasn't like an actual German name wouldn't fit him.
No.
He's more of the that African storyline that we're thinking of with Albert, and you should see the latest drafts of the script, which I will not go into too deep on Livestream for spoiler, but you should check it out. It's on Miro. It basically ties Albert a little closer to the governor, and there is precedent for that.
Have you heard of Lord Haw during World War II?
I've not heard no.
Well, Lord Haw was a British, was a British-born German propaganda radio guy, right? And he would go on the radio and talk, like, demoralize the British population, and be like, tomorrow we will be bombing London and all that such, and give it in, Brits, and they would name him Lord Haw because it was like upper class accent.
Yeah. There's a bunch of zany characters from the war. There's a guy who he was an SBS, I think. He went in a war with a broadsword. That was his whole thing. He did Juno Beach in a broadsword and a couple other things.
Actually, you're Belgian, so you might know this guy. It's called Adrian Carden de Riat de Ward.
And haven't heard that name.
Well, he's a Belgian-born British officer who I think later became governor of Hong Kong. But he served in the First World War and their Second, and he's quite famous for... He's got the Victoria Cross for a bunch of stuff, right? I think he's also served in the Boer War. But he was notorious for he was shot in the face, head, stomach, ankle, leg, hip, ear, and then got blinded in an eye, survived 2 plane crashes, tunneled out of a POW camp, tore off his own fingers when the doctors declined to amputate them. And describing his experience in the First World War, he said, "Frankly, I had enjoyed the war." Crazy.
What a mad lad.
Yeah.
I think that is he definitely has some kind of some kind of issue there. I think that is beyond a normal human capacity to endure.
Yeah.
There's
interesting reading about him.
If you look at the Finnish sniper as well, he endured pretty ridiculous levels.
Timo Hayes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also got shot, I think, with a grenade rifle. They ended up shooting him, and then if you look at the picture of him from after the war, half his face is missing. It's crazy, and he just kept going. Bottle Rocket asks, do we take poster requests? We do not. Considering he follows up with love from Union State, we are considering new Union State posters, but first I want to finish New England and then a new German poster.
German poster. What happened to the? I thought I was gonna go with the Austria-Hungary poster.
After Germany, but I generally only do 2 posters a year because they take so much time, and then it really everything that we do, it always comes down to time, right? It's always it's always time.
We can put more time in it. It will be better, but will it be that much better?
Yeah. Right now, I'm trying to for the Divided States. I've been looking at like how much time we spend on frames, and I'm settling on 1 hour per frame. So basically, this should be done in 40 minutes. That is the maximum amount of time that I'm spending on a single frame. So it's always like painting against the clock.
You have to start not cheating, but like be smart about how you using funny brushes and shit.
Yeah, the 3D, like the 3D helps a lot. Without the 3D, this would not be possible, right? Look at this base I'm working on. It's fully built in 3D already. Once we have all the characters done, you know, I've made a lot of progress with putting Emily in 3D first.
Yes.
So thank you, Arno and Bottle Rocket, to just some kind words from them. There's another question from Wing Wung Yen. How many parts are we planning for Divided States? So that is a little more complex. Maybe you want to take it there.
I wanted. I think we were going for 8. Was that it? Is that the magic number? 8 episodes divided.
It depends on like what do you consider Divided States, because when you ask me the Divided States, I'm thinking of the project in its entirety, and then that is very much an open question, right?
That is a very open question. As much as we can make with support from people.
Yeah.
We'll do everything. People, if there's support behind it, you know. So
the basic premise for the Divided States now is we're going to start with this episode, which is currently 28 minutes, which in my opinion is a little too long. We should probably be able to edit it down and get it a little sharper. I did the big screening with, actually I'll show you guys. I went to my cousin the other day. He works for an animation studio in Paris, but he was in Belgium. Let me post this to Discord and show you guys. How do I do this? Yes. So we did a big screening. We spent 4 hours on the episode. Like we really went in minute per minute and really talked about, you know, how we can improve it. Which reminds me, I don't think I've actually posted an At Everyone announcement that we are live. Let me just swing over to announcements. At Everyone. Flame, what did you do to the bot? Why,
the bot died.
The bot says the live stream will be starting 26 minutes ago. 20 minutes. It should be saying in. No, there's no. It seems to be a random. We are live. Do not believe the bot. The bot is lying.
Taylor Jetson says, "Who's the good country? Second American War."
Nobody. A funny game. The only way to win a civil war is not to play.
Yeah. some DEF CON. Was that the movie DEF CON, or what movie was that? Was that from?
That is DEF CON, yeah.
Yeah.
Do not believe the bot. The bot is lying. So this is what I just posted on Discord. So it has this really cool swanky studio setup. We screened the entire episode there. So that is the first scene you're seeing, which has been fully painted. It's currently all voiced by me. But basically we went in, we had like so many notes. I'm not sure, Marcus, are you listening to the live stream or are you straight on Discord?
The live stream has like a 5-second. I'm on Discord.
5 seconds. Okay, that's not too bad. Normally it's like a minute. I'll show it on camera, but this is just like all of the notes we took during. Or it's just basically every single scene we talked about, you know, how to improve. the got some bobs in it. Story-wise, he felt pretty good actually about this draft. He says it was a really big improvement. The version you're seeing after the writers meeting than the one that we had before. So it feels pretty good about that. I think I want to hear from one more friend I have in the animation industry, and then we should do another writers meeting. We are meeting for Nights in Shanghai as well, right?
Yes, that meeting will be happening on Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
About
I had a note of it.
More Kaiser Cat.
Yes, maybe you want to talk about Nights in Shanghai for a minute, Marcus.
If anyone remembers, or if you're new to the Kaiser Cat Cinema, Nights in Shanghai is a audio comic we were working on last year, 2 years ago.
It's 1 year ago. As
a year ago.
Yeah, as of a few days, I got a reminder it was a year-old video.
Wow. Nights in Shanghai is a follows an American comprador in Shanghai who goes around, does business basically, and we've been getting requests to do Nights in Shanghai too. So as on the writing team, had a sit down and are now discussing what to do for episode 2. If we should continue it story in Shanghai or continue story as interlude, just telling other stories around the world of Kaiser Reich, not specifically in China. I think that's break that down.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes down. I think we should call it something like other stories from the world of Kaiser Reich, right? So there's gonna be the Divided States, but there will also be several other projects depending on, like, I would love to tell a story from what we've called the Reclamation Project or the Birthright Project, which is the SBS crew participating.
Homecoming.
Yeah, Homecoming is also a good title for that.
That used to be what it was called in the
the project name was Homecoming. That's right. No, I'd love to work a little more on Homecoming. One thing I think I want to do is, when we reach episode 3 on the Divided States, to bundle it up and get like a big anthology comic book out as well with other projects. You know, do you remember Spartacus? It was the first comic book project we did, just the first tests.
Yes. I don't remember much about it though.
No, it was just one of those one-offs, you know, like Pianists, which I'll probably post Pianists in the run-up when we promote the Divided States. Divided States is like the project that we've been working towards, right? So an anthology series set in the Second American Civil War, showing various perspectives. This is the first big release we're doing in that style. It's an enormous new direction for the channel as well. Very challenging to work on.
Bottle Rocket says, would you consider selling patches? We have stickers.
We have stickers, yeah. We're also adding in as for when we're adding postcards. As for when, I actually have all the files. I just haven't set it up yet. I've just been, you know, it's not even that much work. It's just, you know, you just get so distracted with everything going on, trying to keep it going. It'll probably be done before Christmas. It's definitely I can promise that much. That's
what they said in all the wars.
Yeah,
we'll be home by Christmas. We'll be done by Christmas.
Home by Christmas. No, I feel pretty confident about the Divided States getting half the episode out by Christmas. We have 2 scenes fully drawn. We are casting final actors now. We have the writers read. I think we should be approaching script lock.
We got a lot of music as well.
We have a pretty good library of music over the past few years. I have 2 music projects on my hard drive which I simply have not released yet.
I was pretty surprised when you dropped the Bella Ciao one. I did it. It was just I remember we talked about it. We scouted the voice actor, the singer for that. Yeah. And we heard nothing for like 6 months, and then you dropped. I was like, oh, it's pretty good.
Did we work with Gian?
Because
were you part of the scouting project?
Yeah, because we were scouting for the Divided States at the same time.
Ah, yes. To me, that sounds, Marcus, like you are not watching the weekly State of the Cinema briefings. Nobody is watching. No, it has like 4 views. I'm like, come on, guys. I do a briefing every week, and I'm like, you know, just listen. It's like a 5-minute
In my
video.
defense, it's for the Patreons, and I don't subscribe to the Patreon. You know,
It's
I shouldn't have the privilege to.
You don't get off that easily, Marcus.
Oh,
I post them all on the Discord as well, so you don't need
yeah,
access
true.
to Patreon. So if you're crew, you can also see. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned several times every week that hey, this is where that project, and then I definitely would have mentioned.
I'm being strung out now, I guess.
Yeah. It's definitely something I would have mentioned. It's not something I would forget that easily. Let me glance over at YouTube YouTube comments. James Carroll says we should showcase other legation cities. Not a bad idea. Oh, we should start a prize question, the winner of which gets a poster from us, loyalist poster of their choice. You wanna hat-trick something, Marcus? I actually have no prize question prepared. I was just...
Oh, shit.
I was planning on just, you know, freestyling it right here.
Prize question.
Well, how about one from Nights in Shanghai, while we're on the subject?
Oh. I'm trying to think of what could be a good question about. I've got nothing, Vincent. I'm not ready for this.
You've got nothing, okay.
Responsibilities. Maybe we should be like the other way around, where we ask them, give us the best trivia from the divided states that you know, or from Kaiser that you know. What's the best trivia you can think of?
What is like, we should define what the best is. Should we like the most entertaining tidbit?
Most entertaining? Maybe.
We could
Or
go. I could go with that.
From a 1 to 10 of Hitler dying in Moscow, how entertaining is it as a trivia?
Okay. Yes. Let's do that. The first for the next let's say 30 minutes. Send us an entertaining thing that you know about Kaiser Reich lore, an entertaining bit of knowledge, and the most entertaining. That's quite original. The most entertaining Kaiser Reich lore knowledge will win. It's not a knowledge thing. It's a creativity thing as well.
Yeah. Trivia.
Sorry, his chin is.
And again, is it possible for us to fact check that?
Yes.
Are yours and mine, you know, what we know about Kaiser is that even that good?
Is Flame? I think Flame is at work, so we cannot.
We're gonna find a dev.
We gotta find a dev really fast. Can you source someone from the crew channel?
I will. Maybe. 4.
Is the Dago online? I think we've backed ourselves into a corner here. You have to email your answer to me, guys. So don't forget. You know where my email is. That is always part of the. You need to know where it is. My Kaiser Cat Cinema email. Don't go emailing my personal email. I will not be responding there. Oh shit! I have 50 more minutes to finish this frame, and I'm still on Sawyer. Random line work. Random line work. Scroll down. I see people posting interesting Kaiser Reich lore tidbits on YouTube comments, which is great, but you do need to email them to me, guys.
Yeah, now you have to be investigative detective and go find Vincent's.
You should find my Kaiser Cat email. It's not that hard to find. We have a website.
We do have a website.
We do.
We have lots of websites though.
It's on every single one of them. It's like literally on. Go to any website. Go to dividedstates.com and scroll down. I think everyone is gonna manage. It's not the hardest thing that we have. Sawyer's left arm has 2 patches. I need to remember this. It's a Bloodhounds patch and it's a unit insignia patch. Just put him here. Scrolling. Here's my favorite shortcut in Photoshop that I'm gonna show right now. It's called Surface Blur, and I've mapped to F4 And it basically helps me like flatten out everything, all the like the details I don't want from the render. And then I just paint over it. Have you seen the auditions for the latest castings, by the way, Marcus?
I have not touched the audition at all.
We have a few good ones. We have a really cool one for Boldirev, and there's 2 guys for Peterson that I think are very interesting. I hope we can get into. We should get them all into a voice call and then test them out against Amy and with our voice actors. Gonna zoom out a bit. It's also, if you guys would like to follow production of the Divided States animatic, so right now what's happening is a lot of this, right? A lot of frames being painted. We have a newsletter, which I hope to finish maybe next. Yeah, I should probably finish it before October. We always do a little art on Bitnose, and we post regularly to Reddit, but it's never everything that I'm working on.
Yeah, when are we making our own subreddit? r/Kaiser Cat.
Yeah, I don't think it's like an additional subreddit is
we don't need.
Yeah, it's not something we need at this point.
If we're gonna have to split the moderator, so that's
it's
don't need.
And I think that like just the Kaiserreich subreddit is just good enough. There's not that much difference between us and the Kaiserreich mod that it warrants another subreddit.
True.
Because it's just content that is relevant to the Kaiserreich audience.
Sometimes people think we're the developer.
Yeah, that's a more common thing that I find myself responding to quite often. People will come in on a live stream and ask about lore questions about. We can answer lore questions, but we are not the Kaiserreich developers. So we are essentially Kaiserreich fans who create these projects for free. But we do work with various Kaiserreich developers, especially when lore is involved. We generally have like Kaiserreich developers active in our crew channels to help us, get everything sorted out, make sure that it checks out, that we're not like just using random non-lore things.
We're working very closely with developers. Sometimes when they leave notes about the things we do wrong, they leave it every other line.
Yeah, I need to go over the Russian script. I noticed that there's like a bunch of stuff there.
So much edits. Every time we add a new line, they're like, this is not so right, guys.
I'll make sure that I get to that on Monday because I actually want to finalize that script block. We should really get to recording. Have you seen my animation tests for the intro of the Divided States, by the way?
Yes. I also saw you tried to do the shift of power balance into Russia.
Let me pull up the project channel animation. Yes, this one. So I'm using a lot of 3D effects, and generally, so what you guys are seeing on screen right now is the animation for the intro titles. So I've set up a basic newspaper effect that we can write in, but actually I feel like it's not that necessary because the frames are so short that getting the newspapers to type in is even more animation, even more than we need, I think. You run into that issue where it's just too much. But I don't think we need to overcomplicate it. If we just put like a nice wiggle on it, 3D layer effects, then we move the camera, we get a bit fancy there. We should be good. So user asks, how good does it take to get like to this level in digital art? I would say I've been drawing professionally for the better half of a decade, or the better half of a decade. I've worked as an illustrator in the video game industry, so I've been around. I do not consider myself to be an excellent illustrator, but I do feel confident that I can make this show and make sure that the frames are pretty to look at.
You're a better illustrator than me. Also, we got Zim here. Hello, Zim.
Come on, Zim. Is he
a resident British developer?
Can he speak in the stage channel?
I've invited him to speak.
Okay, make sure that you invite everyone to speak who wants to speak, guys. If you wanna like get on voice and chat with us, join our Discord and just ask Marcus to invite you to.
Just tag me, yeah, on the general discussion. Tag me.
Should be good.
We're welcome to come on.
But the more interesting thing that I wanted to say about that learning to draw is I think everyone who gets into digital art now should also think about his relationship, his or her, or their relationship to 3D, because 3D is very huge for me right now. As you can see, I'm using it so much in Divided States, and I've also worked on, I'll show you guys some stuff from development of the show. So here's Emily. She's in full 3D, and I'm not working on an Emily frame today, but what I would do working on an Emily frame is very simple. You just take that 3D model that I've made, I just slam it straight into there. You guys can see this on my screen, right? I'll cut it out. I'm gonna hit it with filter blur twice, and then I'll just paint over it. And setting up the model is a lot of work, but beyond that point, it does really help a lot. And we've been working with very good plugins. I've gotten absolutely in love with the HumGen plugin that we use for Blender. I've been talking to developers, giving them feedback, and it basically creates a human, like really quick base models for humans that you can paint over, and you can animate them. You can do a bunch of stuff. Unreal obviously has meta humans. We've been trying out various things. But I do find myself coming back to the simpler solution, right? So
the try and true tested methods.
Yeah, we don't generally need ridiculous amounts of production quality. We just need something that works, that is quick and dirty, and then we can take care of the rest just purely in painting. So Phantom Jolteon asks, will KCC ever try our hand at Kaiser Cat content past the second Weltkrieg, like 60s, 80s, or modern age scenario? We have a project like that. That was basically, Marcus, one of our original concepts for PDXCon, last PDXCon, the real one, real life one.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah, you were there, but we came with a fairly regular booth, but originally we had a bigger plan for PDXCon. It didn't come true for various practical reasons, but we wanted to do something that was essentially a Cold War era thing with Kaiser Reich, and then we'd have this mascot made. I can show you guys this. I have all these files.
It's also the fun things about the Cold War. Music was great, Yeah.
Arnold the Armadillo. We were making these, and I should show you guys the references. Here we go. We were gonna do this thing based on Bert the Turtle and the Duck and Cover animations, where we would make that, but in Kaiser Reich timeline. And then I made a new mascot, which is called Arnold the Armadillo, and then it would also be like Duck and Cover, and it would be a Federal Civil Defense Administration ad that would play, and our entire booth would have this thing like, protect yourself against the Kaiser's atom bomb, and basically be a Kaiser Reich Cold War reference thing.
I got lots of like the Pit Boy, ideas for that.
I'm about to show you guys another hack. So Sawyer needs a gun. I do not feel like painting it, so what I'm gonna do is open up Blender. I hope it does not crash my stream, because Blender does use a little bit more juice.
You have like a lot of tabs open in Photoshop.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I have a machine with 64 gigabytes of RAM, and even I like tap it out. Like I can max it out. It's crazy. Because I generally have Premiere open. I might have After Effects open while working on a frame. I have all these references open. I have a second monitor here which is full of stuff. Like there's just various things that you need to combine and use. But anyway, you'll see me grab this this rifle. I'm just gonna pose it so it works. It's on Sawyer's back. It should be slung this way, away from the viewer. And then sometimes I have ZBrush open, which is a very uses a lot of RAM. And then Photoshop is very bad with RAM management. Like it uses ridiculous amounts of RAM for the fairly simple features that it does have.
All we need now is a sponsor from Intel, or other providers are available. Give us good computers, please.
We've you know that fishing thing we had with Krita? Did I tell you that story? I posted
With Krita?
Krita, yeah.
We had something with Krita? I did not know.
No. I thought we had something with Krita.
Oh.
So I had this email from Krita or Krita. I'm not sure how to say it. Like it's basically a Photoshop painting alternative, really good.
Yeah,
I was
really
excited.
cool.
I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I like Krita. It works. You know, it does the same thing as Photoshop. It was a sponsorship request. They would say like, hey, you know, we're looking for YouTubers. So I say, okay, let's go in. Let's have a conversation. I download their press package and I'm say I'll go test out the app. So they add this press package in their email that they're sending me. Okay, no problem there. I'm downloading the package, and then, you know, halfway through that download, I start thinking, you know, it's kind of weird that Krita, which is a free app, would have like a YouTuber thing going on, because I'm not sure what their monetization is exactly. So I basically go to their website and basically have this big like message on their news, which is like, do not accept Krita sponsorships. It's a phishing attempt. They're gonna send you this file. And that file,
I remember this now.
Yeah, it's a ransomware log file, and I was like, I was halfway through downloading that thing, and I was like, whoa, it's time to get out of here.
Yeah.
And it was a very convincing phishing attempt. So this is like a good PSA for everyone watching. Be aware that phishing crime is getting very good. So if anything is fishy about an email, you should probably pick up the phone and call everyone involved. And be like, you know, is this your email? Okay, good. Check this out. We do have another sponsorship, which is a real one. I checked. I went in and checked. Yeah, I called everyone. Every company involved in that sponsorship.
Does this company exist? Do you exist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just asked them, do you exist? Does this person work for you? Can I find them on LinkedIn? Okay. It's Supremacy 1917 Bytro Lab. So it's the. I should check how my game is going. This is a free sponsorship for Supremacy.
Yeah, we're talking about it off key.
Holy shit! Oh my god! No, yeah, I'm out. Italy, Germany, and yeah, that's it. My game is over. I hate this game. I'm Austria-Hungary, Italy, Germany, and Romania just ganged up on me overnight and took my entire country. Bastards. Yeah, I'm out of retry. I'm out of this game. So much for that.
I better shoot off, but if people have questions, just bring me one of the public channels. Like any trivia questions, I can provide a few.
Can you repeat that, Zim? I didn't fully get that.
I'm better shoot off, but if someone wants to ask me a question, just bring me one of the public channels. Like a trivia question or anything.
Okay, we can DM you.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, thanks for listening now. It's been good.
Yeah.
See you around.
See you around.
Which reminds me, I should check my email and see how that thing. So you guys just saw me paint Sawyer's rifle, totally half-assing it by pasting a model from Blender in. There we go. Good enough. So using Blender in this way, you can paint a lot faster, right? You can really get shapes in, especially when you're doing perspective stuff. I don't want to spend like, if I have an hour for a frame, I cannot. I'm not gonna make it. I need another hour at least to finish Logan. But I don't have 20 minutes to paint a rifle. Yes, Bottle Rocket, you are correct. Let me check where the trivia is headed. Alright, Marcus, I'm gonna hit you one by one with various trivia notes, and you just let me know, you know, if you think they are a possible contender. Are you listening?
I am. Got my full attention.
The Commune of France's economy is a socialist, trade unionist, and semi-planned economy.
That's some trivia, yeah.
That's some trivia. We'll see what else we get to see.
Who was that by? Who said that?
That is Aiden. Aiden Henriksen, yeah.
Keep a note of that, Aiden.
There's a bunch of artifacts in the scene. So Sawyer should have his rifle. Rifle on a layer, hand on a layer. Looks like James Carroll is watching. Welcome, patron James Carroll. Thanks for the support. Okay, Bottle Rocket is Bottle Rocket, that is not a trivia piece. You're asking a trivia question. We're just looking for an entertaining tidbit of Kaiser trivia right now. So it's a creativity assignment. Alright, so I should get into some patron painting. So we have two patrons set up, which will make cameo appearances in this scene on these guys on the back here. I need to check my resolution on this scene. It should be 2K if I'm good. 256 1440. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that should do it. So especially on talking about 3D, I think that there is going to be a lot of use of 3D and AI in our later, because I'm looking at those style transfer AIs. And if we could get a style transfer AI that is good, I'm not sure that they exist right now, but it's possible that we'll have some. We should technically be able to do a lot of this painting work straight in 3D if we just improve our shaders and then improve the work. Have the AI basically do a lot of the work here. So this is a patron cameo. Basically, patrons can make cameo appearances in our show. This is a perk of Cameo Cat tier and above. Marcus, do you want a cameo in Emily's fight with me? I was thinking it would be funny if we would be the guys
fighting Emily, getting stabbed by her.
Yeah, we're getting stabbed by the main character. So either you can be the guy who gets stabbed. We will also voice them, just because I think I don't want to get extra voice actors for like these guys who die in the first scene.
Yep.
I think we should just voice them ourselves. We both
definitely
have decent mics. So we'll toss a coin. Either it's you on the knife and me on the car who gets thrown out the window, or it's the other way around. It'll be good fun either way.
Yeah, Bottle Rocket, you can send another one. Send as much as you want. Actually, not as much as you want. Don't spam Vincent.
Send some a respectable amount.
Respectable amount.
We are once more hearing the wonderful Amy Seville with our in-house producer, David van der Heijden of Livido Beats fame. He also did all the music with Rachel. He's doing a solo project with Rachel right now, by the way.
Huh.
So yeah, they're releasing a track. I'm not sure what the status of that is. I haven't heard anything in a while. But I'm quite excited to see those two work together. Rachel is getting more into building an original AP again. Yeah, looks like Omer Bradley is back. He has a new nickname. Welcome, Omer Bradley. I want to make sure I do not over detail because this guy isn't. Yeah, it's a go away in the back. By the way, patron cameos, if you cameo cats, if you are listening, feel free to send in uniform requests for your cameos. I've requested a few more cameos, and we have a few open spots for this scene because there's a bunch of other guys who appear a little later. Texas will be mine forevermore. By the way, I've been listening to the audiobook of The Expanse. Do you know The Expanse?
Yes, by guy.
The Amazon show, probably.
Yeah, but the guy who wrote the book was called James Corey. That's his name. Yes.
It's actually two guys. So basically, James S.A. Corey is the pen name of two co-authors. And it's just...
There we go. That's some trivia.
Yeah, it's just something that I just learned while Googling them. And just, so good. In a way, I cannot wait to get to the office and start painting, because often I'll just be listening to audiobooks and it's so good. You don't want to leave the office. I just want to keep painting and keep listening to The Expanse on audiobook. It's probably one of the best things I think about painting for a living or being in a creative profession, is that generally, if you're not listening or editing, you can listen to audiobooks and work at the same time. Same way that I'm talking to you right now, I'm painting. It's a different brain side of your brain, is a theory.
Definitely multitasking.
Mm-hmm. I think it helps in a way by talking. It gets you into what they call the flow.
I'm sure in like 50 years they'll do a research and find out that it's like it helps dementia patients or something. They always, yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. That is one patron cameo. Should get a little more light in here. There we go. Don't want to over detail him, because he's right in camera in Sawyer's angle, and Sawyer is still the guy we should be watching in this scene. There we go. Second patron. I think I'll use Alucard here. He just sent me this series of references. Yeah, that should do it. This guy has a little bit more screen space, so we'll maybe give him a Thompson rifle, giving a bit of a weapon. I'm using a lot of Anatomy 360 Soldier, which is Anatomy 360 is a company that does basically full body scans as references for artists.
Huh.
And
you could do that with your camera. Stand there in T-pose. Do walk around a person with a camera, cover enough of them. There's a program you could use. Shove that model straight into Blender as well.
Yeah, I know. It's probably something like, I have a studio here if we ever have some time. One of the things I would love to do if we stop being poor is get everyone in one location, all developers. So we can do things like that, like the 3D capturing, a bunch of other editing and writing work. My dream would be like getting us all to Germany in the woods and then just writing the entire show, just the entire thing, 26 episodes, writers retreat.
Go to the Eagle's Nest.
I think they tore that down. I don't think you could visit any of that.
Probably.
Honestly, everything in the Bavarian mountains is just beautiful.
Definitely.
Looks like Omar, his slippers had a run-in with his dog, which unfortunately did not survive. Big F for Omar's slippers. I need a Thompson
Tragic.
rifle. I need a Thompson rifle. Sam Wood, thanks for the kind words. So yeah, this is how we do things. We hang out on Discord, we paint a lot of frames. First we'll finish this frame, then we'll finish 390 more. Then we have an episode. I need a Thompson, which I think I have in 3D, but I'm not exact. Yes, I have one. Perfect. I think I have the gangster variant, but yeah, we'll paint it over. It's not military stock.
Gangster Thompson.
Gangster Thompson. No, it's SMLE, so good. No shading though. It's not a big issue. Bring this up. Ever since Blender went to 2.80, where they had their new real-time added their new real-time viewport, it's been a game changer. I think everyone in concept art now uses Blender.
It's not called Cycles. What's it called again? The other one.
Eevee.
That's it.
But it basically allows you to cycle lighting situations, and the renders are not great, but it's good enough for drawing, right? For as a base of drawing, and it's really fast. I don't have to wait for renders anytime. It's just fully real time. And there's a few other cool channels now looking at what we call the Blender workflow. Like Critical Giants is the guy that does art using a combination of Blender and painting.
Last Monday, I was actually with a meeting with a VFX artist, and he was wanting to make a short film using Unreal.
Yeah,
and I was invited to help co-write that as well as help with the VFX and such.
That's cool. Are you still working on your Trapped short film project?
Yes, I'm still working on that.
You have an ETA?
No, but I have a meeting about that next Thursday.
Okay.
Films, man. It's like working on 7 at a time. Lovely.
It's generally how you do things. I also
Always.
tend to, so one day a week I focus on what I call various other projects and studies. So that's a day that I don't work on Kaiser Cat stuff, and I just spend a day generally drawing concepts for, other things that Kaiser Cat Cinema could do, brainstorming sessions, stuff like that. It's good to be in different productions at once, so you don't get like locked into staring at one thing for too long.
You'll get burned out, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a thing where it's harder to see because you've been on a project for too long. It's getting harder to see its faults and try and improve, everything you can improve about the show.
It's now 5 minutes past. Any more emails coming in with trivia?
I should check. Nah, it's just Bottle Rocket again.
Bottle Rocket. What's the trivia this time?
He is sending actually trivia questions.
Give you a question.
Which faction temporarily imprisoned Jack Malone Crawford?
See, what you need to do, Bottle, instead of sending questions, you send the answers, right? that's how you get a poster from Vincent.
He's just helping out with comments. I don't think he's looking to get a poster. I think I saw him say something on YouTube chat that he doesn't have room for a poster right now. He's just
what? You can always give it to your parents as a birthday gift.
Buy
your parents Kaiser Cat posters for birthday gifts, or your loved ones.
The posters
anyone
have
out
been
there.
selling quite well recently. Especially the US poster is quite popular.
It is powerful.
I had oh shit, I'm on the wrong layer. Oof, okay. Didn't overpaint anything important. This will lock this so this does not happen again. Yes, this explains why none of my colors seem to match. We also have good news for people living, if we're talking about webshop, people living in the European Union. We are switching to a new supplier for flags soon, and they do print in Europe, which means no more import tariffs on flags. So if you're looking to buy flags from either Flag Maker and Prints or Kaiser Cat Cinema, you live in Europe, you should probably wait a second.
Oh boy, more flags. I actually got a new flag in my room. It's not from Kaiser Cat though.
Which
Just
one
the
is
flag. It's the flag of Greenland.
it? Okay. Why Greenland?
It was on a discount, so I got it. Yeah.
You're actually Danish, but whatever, close enough.
Well, good enough for me.
I have a flag of Sweden here. I don't really remember. You can see behind me probably. Yeah, this
yeah.
camera angle. I don't remember when I have it there, but it's just been there. I got it while I was in Sweden. Thought it was fun. I'm thinking of replacing it with my horizontal striped Belgian flag. You know what? I did a video for Flag Maker and Print. I hate the flag of Belgium. Here's a better alternative we are not using, which was the Brabantine Revolution flag, which I think is a really good flag, and is the one we should use for Belgium. But we have this flag is just weird, man. It's just not a good flag.
I mean, we talk about fictional countries all day. Belgium's pretty up there. It's a fictional country.
I loved when ISP did that whole Belgium isn't real thing.
Yeah, that's very funny.
It's one of those. There's a couple other. There's a state in the U.S. Where the same joke. They do this as well. It's like, oh yeah, that state isn't real.
Yeah, Rhode Island.
Is it Rhode Island?
Exist. I think it's Rhode Island.
Is it a joke because Rhode Island is actually not a state, or it is a state, right?
Rhode Island is a state, but it's also.
Rhode Island, I can guarantee that. Hi guys.
Hello,
hey Luna.
Don't mind me. I'm on my 15-minute break, just chilling at work.
Yeah.
Stress.
So you can confirm that Rhode Island is indeed a state?
Rhode Island is indeed a state. It's 2 states away from New York.
Okay.
So it goes New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island.
My geography in New England area is very, very choppy because there's like a lot of small states very close to each other.
Yeah, and unfortunately Rhode Island falls under that.
Yeah, Rhode Island. Tiny, but
No, I was recently watching a show about basically houses, and it was it was talking about the whaling areas in New England, right? Those small islands in front of, I want to say, I'll have to pull up Google Maps to apparently very well-known whaling area. It was called. So it's somewhere around Rhode Island. Nantucket. It is a Rhode Island area, I think.
Nantucket is technically that's Massachusetts.
Yeah, I can see it here. Yeah, so it was talking about basically it was one of those home renovation shows, right? And it was about renovations in Nantucket. It was so beautiful.
So, fun fact about Rhode Island: there is an island within the state named Rhode Island. So there's Rhode Island, Rhode Island.
Oh, that's gonna be fun on your shipping address.
Our webshop automatically blocks duplicate addresses, so I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be able to deliver to that unless I give it a manual.
We're sorry, people of Rhode Island. If you're
It's not fix your state names before we can ship to you.
I mean, some of the state names are literally made up. They were made because they just sounded American.
It's always interesting to have the title of a country being in its name, right? Like, it's no longer called the Czech Republic; it's now called Czechia, right?
Yeah, that's right. Is that official now? Do we call?
Yeah. We call them Czechia now, or Česko.
And that explains why I've been seeing that name, and I thought it was so weird to call it Czechia, because I've been used.
There's also countries that prefer to go by their, I guess, foreign names. So, Coast of Ivory is actually in its constitution and in worldwide is known as Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah, Côte d'Ivoire.
But it is officially. So.
Yeah. d'Ivoire. They have a giant church there. That China.
Oh yeah.
For that. Team talking about that.
Also.
What you working on, Vincent? I can't exactly see.
Yeah, you're not on a live stream. I'm essentially working on, to be precise, episode 1, scene 3, shot, I want to say 6 or 7, which is Sawyer pointing a finger at Logan when he delivers the line, you know as well as I that the Legion is auxiliary to the army. We have to put a stop to the slogan when he's referring to the execution of prisoners.
Nice.
This isn't right, and you have this whole back and forth. You should see the. Have you seen the latest episode renders?
Yes, I have.
So
Very fun.
we did a whole thing. I'm going to watch it. I'm watching it with various friends. I posted a picture in general discussion where you can see me. We watched it on the big screen with a friend of mine who works in animation. So he was working on that as well. We had a whole bunch of notes to improve the episode. And then me and Marcus Herbertson, not Marcus that you're seeing right here. This will get confusing. He's a Swede.
There's too many Marcuses. I'm already confused.
There's he's a Swede. He's not a Dane, so that is the difference between Marcus here and then the other Marcus.
Oh, good.
But he's also a director. He also helps us out with the story. There's like 3 other things, but yeah, this is gonna get confusing.
If the live actions ever do happen, I'll pretty sure be able to meet all of them.
The idea on the live action right now is that we want to build Battery Park, right? So Battery Park is going to be one of our big Kickstarter or Indiegogo stretch goals.
Yeah.
And
New York Battery
then we want to pitch the New York shorts as a sizzle reel to basically have like a large film studio backing. The one thing that we're seeing right now working on this animatic is that there's no way of doing this on our indie budget. Like there's just no way. The opening, the first 5 minutes of the animatic have like 16 vehicles and like it's several $1 million of equipment shown in it. We can all draw it, but we cannot do it in live action. So we
Courtney
always...
Smith. Courtney Smith just said
I
in the
hate to
YouTube
be a
comments.
downer, but my 15-minute break is up, so...
Yeah, okay. Luna, you take care over there.
Take care, Luna.
You have a good...
Will do, and I'll probably catch y'all for the next live stream.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you, Luna. So that was Luna Walter, one of our live stream, one of our patrons, has been part of the crew, moderator as well, helping us out with various things for... she's one of the old schools. Been with us since the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. Luna's Courtney Smith just thanked us for the second American Civil War poster delivered. Looks great. It's always you know what you could do for us, Courtney, despite buying our merch, is always leave a review on the web shop. It does wonders, and picture.
Or join our mailing list. I'm actually trying to get more people into the mailing list right now, and also feel sad because I spend so much time on the mailing list, and I feel not enough people read the emails or their briefings, right, Marcus?
No, I don't know about that one.
I cannot confirm nor deny those rumors.
Guilty.
Incidentally, guys, we will be cutting the live stream in about 15 minutes, so if you have questions about the Divided States, I'll be trying and doing more frequent live streams in the future. There's a lot of this happening right now, so a lot of painting. Why am I not seeing my painting going?
And again, thank you, Courtney.
Here we go. There's a lot of painting going on right now for the Divided States, where we obviously have quite a bit of work ahead of us trying to get this episode made. So we should go forward, back.
Gotta ask. Why? Why do we ask? Comment. The web shop.
What was our question, Marcus?
Why do we ask people to leave comments and pictures? I remember it helped like that there.
On the web shop, it's just good for other people to see pictures of what is. Shit, I'm messing up. Just a second. I need to dodge and not burn. But I also need to.
You keep working. Just
Fuck! I forgot my brush.
I think we have to cancel the Divided States now.
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
We're done. Can't make more brushes.
I bought this brush plugin to help me with organizing our stuff. Scratch. Okay, here we go. We're back in business. Vignettes are a little weak. The tree line is in a very weird position. Basically, it's always nice for people to see reviews left by other users, and you know, the we have a lot of like marketing photos on there, and it's always good to see like an actual picture of someone just putting it up on their wall, where it's like a grainy cell phone picture, which gives you probably a more realistic idea of what it's going to look like on your place. Okay, this is good. There's a line here which should not be there. So Courtney, thanks for supporting us by buying posters. That's obviously always a thing that you can do. As you can see, my wall is filled with them. It's one of my favorite things is to paint posters. It's how the whole project got started as well. I painted these Kaiser Cat posters, and people asked whether they could buy it, and we thought, okay, that's a good idea, but you know, what can we do with that money once we start selling stuff? And I talked to developers, and I was like, hey, what if we launch like a YouTube channel, and we use the funds to build, you know, Kaiser Cat content released for free. I think that's something that the entire community will be able to use, or is gonna like benefit from. This half track is just all over in terms of layers. I think it should be a little darker. There we go. Okay, so we have 2 patron cameos in the scene. This is good. Should he be a little bigger?
We gotta get you like what's that thing called? Those stream decks, you know? Because I see you keep opening and accessing the brightness, contrast windows a lot.
The contrast windows of what?
As in, like, for some of the frames there, you always go up to, you know.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking of setting up a few more macros. I'm thinking a lot about workflow, considering the amount of frames we're doing. We should be able to set, like, if I set my F6 and F7 keys are unbound, I could set them to like +10 brightness, -10 brightness, and generally it's easier just to tap, 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 tap until it feels right.
I have that for my Premiere Pro. I have a keyboard with.
Yeah, you have the Premiere Pro keyboard? I had one back when I worked in editing.
Yeah. It's not the it's a pretty good investment because you just buy the keycaps and you just shove it on your keyboard.
No, my job back then gave me essentially one of those like really neat custom ones. It was one of like they gave us really good equipment to work with. We did a lot of ad work back in the days. Where is this? There's a line here which is just annoying me. I don't know where it's coming from. There's like no layer here. Ah, here we go. Bastard.
Have you ever worked with a color grading wheel before?
I generally do not color grade. I've done it once and it was a nightmare. It was I did a color grading job for Tuk. You know what Tuk is?
No.
You might not. That might not be a thing in the rest of Europe. It's a very popular brand of salted cracker in Belgium and France, and I think in Germany to a large extent. But they have a very specific color of yellow. So I had basically 4 or 5 sets of footage. Some was CGI, some was like actual in-house, you know, stage photography. And I had to match all that yellow color, and I had like no clue about color grading.
It's very much looking at a color spectrum all day and making sure the values.
Yeah, I have no idea how it works.
Yeah, but like once you get your hands on a wheel, like a color grading wheel,
yeah,
you don't want to go back because when you have to go back to color grading manually, you have to use your mouse and drag, you know, what's it called? Sliders, you know.
Yeah.
Painful, tiring. Got a wheel though. Hell yeah.
I've got a friend who works in engineering, so he does a lot of 3D work, and he has a 3D mouse, which is quite interesting, and I've considered something like that for a while.
I've heard about that. It's also invented before, like the VR, what's it called? Handsets, right? Like controllers.
Yeah.
There was a 3D stylus that I read about that could draw in 3D space. It was for
yeah.
It was a Microsoft thing a long time ago.
Yeah, it never really took off because it feels very weird to paint in air.
Definitely. Imagine.
The workflow with like a Wacom tablet or like just a stylus, it doesn't have to be Wacom. The Chinese brand is really good right now, Yuan, which is the better Wacom alternative. It's not necessarily about how it feels, about the hand motion when you paint. It's more about what you can see when you're drawing. Right? So you need to see where the issues are. You could paint this with like your left hand. It would just go a lot slower. The technique is in the seeing what the problems are in an image, where the light is supposed to bounce and reflect this. I've got whole books on the subject. I'll talk a little bit more about that during training sessions with crew that we want to do specifically in Blender and stuff.
Do you have a graphic tablet or just a drawing tablet?
Just a regular black one. I'm not sure if you can see it.
So a drawing tablet then.
I'm not sure what that. Yeah, just a black one. Is that a drawing tablet?
That's a drawing tablet because a graphic tablet has a screen on it.
Oh, I actually used a screen for a while. So my cousin, when he first started his job in Paris, he left. He basically sold off all his studio equipment. I got his old screen. I used it for a while, and honestly, wasn't a fan of it. And I went back to regular tablets, and I sold it back off to someone else.
I'm the other way around. I have difficulty drawing with a drawing tablet. I gotta go for a graphic tablet.
Yeah, I think what it was back then was that I didn't have the room for a big one, so it was a very small one. And
that messes up your back if you have to lean in and such.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I could give it another go later, but I just I feel good with one of the advantages of this tablet that I'm using is it has like a nice scratchy feel to it. Feels the newer Wacoms have like a paper feel to them, which is good.
I remember I kept finding like the stylus tips all over my house once because I kept changing them.
Do you replace your stylus tips? I don't have to do that.
I have to do that quite a lot because it was quite a cheap stylus. But I kept like replacing them, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the kitchen and throw this away. And then I like halfway to the kitchen, I was like, I'll just put it here for now, and I'll do it later. And I go back to my room, and eventually I just keep finding them all over my house. Like,
yeah.
It's my sock drawer. What the hell?
I actually normally you should have to replace your stylus tips, but my thing is so worn that it doesn't take anything off my stylus anymore. So there's a rough texture on it, and the thing with Wacom specifically, which I absolutely hate, is that it's super expensive, the stylus tips, right?
Yeah.
And you have to replace them quite often. So
definitely,
I might not go back to. I don't feel that good about Wacom. I might not go back to them later. Purple Phoenix asks, can we make a video where Huey Long and the Union State win the Second American Civil War? We're not planning anything like that right now. Huey Long does play a large role in the divided states, so that's something you'll be seeing more from us. But there is no canonical end to the Second American Civil War, so there's actually no reason for us to make a video like that anytime soon.
The day they release Hearts of Iron 5, we'll talk about it again.
Kaiser Cat for Hearts of Iron 5. I think Kaiser Cat will probably be there when a new Hearts of Iron comes out inevitably. Though I feel they still haven't fixed Hearts of Iron 4. Like, I'm still walking into Hearts of Iron and seeing the AI abandon its fronts. Like, still. It's like a really, really massive bug.
I have that problem as well. It's like playing as Russia, I have all my troops in one end, and then I give, like, what's it called? Take all my territories, the AI doesn't help me defend, they pull off it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I have to give territory back to the AI so they can hold it.
It's a really, really big issue which I feel has not been addressed enough. It's somewhat better than it was in earlier versions, but it's still not good.
I played Hearts of Iron 3 when that came out, but I could never get good at it. I could, like, always struggle.
Yeah, Hearts of Iron 3 is really, really hardcore. It was an interesting like direction, but most people ended up not liking it. But then I feel Hearts of Iron 4 was too simplified. I still feel like Darkest Hour is the best Hearts of Iron game that we have. Guys, like, for Darkest Hour is like very, very fun. You should absolutely try it out if you ever have some time. You should also try out the not our sponsors, but just general cool guys. The makers of Suzerain, I've been talking to them on and off. I need to tone this exposure down. It's way too aggressive. Talking to them on and off. Basically, they asked us a couple things about, you know, running a web shop. They were interested in that because they wanted to sell stuff from their own world, their own game. And they made a game called Suzerain, which is a very, very cool like political simulator game where you play the premiere of what is essentially Turkey before the during Ataturk. So essentially, you're Ataturk. You know, you make a long story short.
Yes, I've saw this on Steam not long ago.
It's very, very well received on Steam, and they gave me a copy. Really cool guys, and I've been playing it. It's really fun.
Yeah,
but I'll be interested to see if the sponsorship with Bytro goes through. It would be good to have that extra sponsor. We did sign the paperwork, so normally we should be good, but you know, you never know. They might always pull out before the video releases.
Oh, cross our fingers.
Logan's hair is weird. I need to
30 minutes past.
Yeah, we should call the live stream here. Let me see if we have any more questions. No, we should be good. Let's call it a day. So, thank you all for participating and joining our Kaiser Cat Cinema live stream studio sessions. We'll try to do a bunch more as we go deep into the production of the Divided States. First episode is slated for release in December 26th, so in the Christmas period. First part, which will be a 15-minute animatic set as in the Kaiser timeline. Second part probably in February somewhere. Depends on how fast we can paint these. As you can see, this is the largest amount of work that we're doing right now. It is just painting out all these scenes, all these characters, making sure they're clean so we can animate them, going back and forth, as well as writers reading. Marcus, I'll see you next week. We have a bunch of writers meeting, working on various projects.
Yep.
All right, good. But thank you all for the support. If you would like to support Kaiser Cat Cinema further, we could always use extra support. You can find us on Patreon, where you can actually make cameo appearances in our show. So here's 2 patrons that I was working on today. Swing by patreon.com/KaiserCatCinema if you're interested, or just talk to us about us to your friends. You know, if you don't have any money to spare, no problem. You know, just DM our projects to your friends. You know, tell them what we're working on, what we're doing. We're trying to make original animated series, original stories set in the Kaiser world. That's it. I think I'll take us offline here. I have actually forgotten what I should do with... oh wait, I got it on today. Swing by Kaiser... yeah, okay. So I'm taking us offline here. I want to thank you all for your continued support for Kaiser Cat Cinema, and I will see you all for the next one, cats. tell them what we're working on, what we're doing. We're trying to make original animated series, original stories set in a Kaiser world. That's it. I think I'll take us offline here. I have actually forgotten what I should do with... Oh wait, I got it on today. Swing by Kaiser... yeah, okay. So I'm taking us offline here. I want to thank you all for your continued support for Kaiser Cat Cinema, and I will see you all for the next one, cats.
Wowie.